Hello friends, welcome back to channel NEET. Today we are going to continue with the chapter that is known as the living world. Today is lecture number 9 and today's topic what we are going to discuss is taxonomy. Okay, now in this particular topic we are going to again see the topic with respect to examples. Okay, now you already know the sequence which I have discussed with you in the last two lectures, that is K, D, C, S, S, O, F, G, S, out of which 7 are the most important structure that we need to discuss. Okay, the sequence goes as the first is the kingdom, the next becomes, since we are classifying animals, I'll write it as phylum. And the third becomes your class, fourth becomes order, fifth becomes family, sixth becomes the genus, and seventh becomes the species. So these are the 7 important aspects through which we need to classify the animals, and we'll see of the classification patterns of the animals. Okay, the most common I'll be taking first the cat families. Okay, so now for example we'll take cat first and we'll understand. Okay, so what could be the classification pattern with respect to the cat. Okay, now cat is going to belong to a species what we call it as catus. Okay, so it is going to belong to a species what we call it as catus. Now this cat what I am speaking is a domesticated cat. Okay, so this becomes domesticated, or the house cat. Okay, fine. And so this becomes house cat. It belongs to a species what we call it as Felis. Okay, so it is going to belong to a genus that is known as Felis. Okay, now what exactly the Felis means? Felis itself means cat. Okay, fine. Now the next word what we need to discuss is with respect to family. Okay, it belongs to a family what we call it as Felidae. Felidae. Okay, fine. It belongs to family that is known as Felidae. Okay, next order. We'll discuss with respect to order. Order of the family is called as Carnivora. Since it is carnivorous, therefore it becomes to Carnivora. Class of cat becomes mammals or mammalia. Okay, phylum of them becomes Chordata, and kingdom becomes Animalia. Fine. So this was whole with respect to the classification of the cat or the domesticated cat what we come across. Okay, fine. Now you already know kingdom is at the highest. Okay, highest taxonomic level is kingdom, and species is the lowest one. Okay, the next example what I need to discuss with you is with respect to tiger. Okay, so tiger what we come across very common. Tiger will be giving you a species what we call it as tigress. Okay, now it belongs to a genus what we call it as Panthera. Okay, now Panthera means spotted cats. I'll write that word. Okay, next it is going to give you family what we call it as Felidae. Okay, so this still becomes the same, Felidae. Okay, Again, this continues as carnivora. Next it is going to be mammalia. Done. You have chordata as same, and finally you have animalia. Okay, now let's compare these two examples by adding one more up. We'll be discussing with respect to lion. So we'll take one more example of lion. Okay, now it is going to be classified as Leo. It is going to get classified genus as Pantheria. Okay, it is family becomes the same, Felidae. Again, order becomes the same, Carnivora. Now here it is continued as mammals or mammalia. The next becomes chordata, and finally you have animalia. Mammalia. Now these both are your wildcat. These are your wild cat, and this is a domesticated cat. Okay, so now if you can observe the similarity, okay, here, okay, Panthera, as I've told you, it is known as Panthera means spotted cat. Okay, so this word means spotted cat. Panthera is nothing but spotted cat. Okay, fine, done. So here you can see the species name are different, but their body organization is same. Okay, and their habitat is also same. Okay, if I consider the lion and the tiger. Okay, since all of these are going to eat the flesh eating animals, therefore they are known as carnivorous. Okay, these three are already mammals because they have external hair on their body, they have external ear present, they are viviparous. Okay, so these are some characteristics of mammalian which could be seen in all of these. So as we move above, you can see there is some similarities between this particular animals, though this is being a domesticated one and this is going to be the wild one. Okay, fine. So as we move across from the highest taxonomic category towards the lowermost taxonomic category, okay, till family they belong to the same family. It is the genus and the species which is going to make them the difference. Okay, fine. So generally whenever we are going to classify an animal or a plant, we generally give importance to the genus and the species. Okay, this particular table shows me the proof that the cat and the tiger has a lot of similarities, though this is a domesticated animal and this is a wild animal. Okay, so the difference is negligible what we can come across whenever we are going to understand or classify these animals, that is catus, tigress and leo. Okay, so this was one example with respect to the animals. Now we'll take one more example with respect to animal and we'll see. Okay, fine. So this was an example with respect to the cat, because their body organization, you can understand, is same. Okay. Now we'll move on to one more example on the same basis of classification. We'll discuss it out with respect to one more animal, that is with respect to the dog and the wolf. Okay, so we'll be discussing the concept with respect to dog and wolf now. Okay, so let's write the genus and the species with respect to dog and the wolf. Okay, dog is species is lupus. This is again a domesticated variety, lupus. Okay, I'm just mentioning it, it is in domesticated varieties. Domesticated variety. Okay, genus becomes canis. We'll discuss the word that is known as canis. Next, family becomes Canidae. Canidae becomes the family. Order becomes Carnivora. So you have here Carnivora. Next is class is mammals, Mammalia. Phylums becomes Chordate, and finally kingdoms becomes Animalia. Okay, now we'll see one more example with respect to fox, or a better species name, what we call it as Ethiopian wolf. Ethiopian wolf. Now wolf and dog, they have almost similar appearance. Okay, now basically it also belong to a genus, what we call it as Canis. Okay, next it has been classified under the taxonomic categories of family as Canidae. Next, order Carnivora. Okay, then here kingdom you have Animalia. This becomes Chordata, and this becomes mammals or Mammalia. Now wolf body structure and a dog body structure is one and the same. Okay, fine. Canis represents that they have sharp tooth, for killing up the prey. They want to kill up the prey. Okay, canine is what we call it as. Okay, so therefore it has been derived from the Latin word. Okay, so canis is nothing but a Latin word. Fine. Now Canidae is generally a cosmopolitan group. Okay, now if you can understand cosmopolitan, now this is an what we call the animals or the Ethiopian wolf, they'll be living in the jungles. Okay, and dog we can actually domesticate out. Okay, so this becomes a cosmopolitan family, Canidae. Okay, two different animals which are living in two different zones, since they have the different nature of habitat, but along with that, because of the similarities what we could see in their physical appearance, they have been classified under Canidae. Carnivora, because they eat up the flesh, you already know it. Mammalia, since they have external hairs present on their body, they have presence of ears. Okay, fine. So therefore they have been, and viviparous also, so they have been classified into Mammalia. Okay, next is Chordate. Okay, Chordate, they have this notochord during the embryonic development, which develops into spinal cord with the time in the progression. Okay, finally they are animals, so they have been classified into kingdom Animalia. Okay, so this, since the body organization, body structure is one and the same, okay, therefore this genus is same. Okay, only the species name is different with respect to the dog and the wolves. Okay, fine. So this was with respect to the dog and the wolf. Okay, now we'll take one more example with respect to plants, and we'll see what is going to happen with respect to the plant classification. Okay, so that you understand all the three aspect of the. Fine. Now we'll be looking up for the plant. I'll take very common example which you already know. I'll take up brinjal. Okay, and I'll take a potato. Okay, now brinjal is also known as eggplant. Okay, it is also known as eggplant. Okay, fine. Very commonly it is also known as eggplant. Okay, fine. Now we'll understand, since both of these are kingdom, they will be belong to kingdom Plantae. Okay, so potatoes also will be belong to kingdom Plantae. They will be having phylum. Okay, what we call it as tracheophyte. Okay, tracheophyte. Okay, and here also same tracheophyte. The next word what we come across, class, they belong to class what we call it as angiospermae or angiosperm. Okay, so this also belongs to angiosperm. Okay, next they belong to order what we call it as solanates. So lanels. Okay, fine. So they are going to belong to sonanels. Potato also belongs to sonanels. Okay, they belong to a family what we call it as Solanaceae. Solanaceae. Okay, fine. Genus, they belong to Solanum. Okay, fine. And here also they belong to Solanum. Okay, fine. The next is the species, and the species what they belong to is Melangina. Okay, and you have here as tuberosum. Okay, now if you can understand this, melanginum and tuberosum, they both are edible foods. Okay, they are both edible food. Okay, so these are some plants which we can eat. Okay, therefore this species name is given with respect to the food what we want to eat up. Now the other two, what we call it as Solanum, what they come across, you have a special word over here, I'll just mention it out here. Solanum, and the, just to cover up the space, so Solanum and Solanaceae, they have different aspect and the developmental value of them, but still they been also called as nightshade plant. Nightshade. Okay, now what is this nightshade? Okay, this has been defined as they grow, the plant which grow in shade. Okay, they will be requiring shade, but the special property is that they flower at night. They flower at night. Okay, so that is a two word what they will be defining. Okay, so night shade, they grow in shade but they flower at night. Okay, so due to this common characteristics between the brinjal and potato, they have been kept into the same genus and the same family. I repeat, the nightshade. Nightshade means they grow in shade and they flower at night. So due to this property what they show, they have been kept in the same genus and the family. Okay, fine. Now sonales will be giving you a word what we call it as monophyletic. I'll write that word, monophyletic. Okay, so monophyletic. Now monophyletic means you will be having an common, I am speaking for monophyletic word over here right now. Okay, you will be having a common origin that will be going into suppose three directions, and after this there is one point, one development of a species, and after this is going to grow into some other part, this is also going to grow into some other aspect, and this also is going to develop into some other aspect. So there is a common point of development, therefore the word monophyletic. Okay, so such plant will be showing you the aesthetic pattern what they call it as. Okay, so monophyletic, you will have a single point through which the development of the continuous species is going to done. Okay, for example, simplest is suppose there is a grandfather. Okay, and grandfather has two sons, so and two sons is going to get married and he has two sons. Okay, so monophyletic becomes the grandfather from where that particular what we call family tree is been developed, something like that. Okay, so that becomes a monophyletic. Okay, angiosperm, as you already know, they are known as flowering plants. I repeat, the plants which will be showing me the presence of flower are known as angiosperms. Okay, Tracheophyte will be showing you the presence of xylem and phloem. Okay, so I can see xylem and phloem in brinjal, and I can see xylem and phloem in brinjal and potato too. Okay, fine. Finally they are plant. Okay, and finally this is also in plant, so they have been classified under the kingdom Plantae. Okay, fine. I'll repeat this concept once more with respect to brinjal and potato. I have been comparing two plant, brinjal and potato, on the basis of KDC, SSO and FGS. Okay, so the brinjal species is Melanon jana and tuberosum is the species for the potato. They belong to the same genus, what we call it as Solanum. They belong to the same family, what we call it as Solanaceae. Now why this Solanum? Because they have a property what we call it as nightshade. What is going to happen in nightshade? They will be growing in the shade, but the flowering what is going to take place, they are going to only, flowering is going to take place only at the night. Okay, that justifies the Solanum and Solanaceae. Next order, Sonanales is monophyletic. I already told you there is a common point through which the further development of that particular species is going to take place. Okay, so that becomes monophyletic. Angiosperms, okay, angiosperms means the flowering plant. Okay, flowering plant, they mean as flowering plant. Tracheophyte, you have xylem plus phloem. Okay, and Plantae you already know. Okay, so this was something, some common characteristics that what we could see is been taken into consideration for classifying the plants and the animals. Okay, fine. So in today's lecture what we have completed, we have completed taxonomy with example. We have taken example of cat family, wild and the domesticated cat, and then we have taken an example of dog family, so that we understand what are the common characteristics, and you have observed that generally from the family, genus and species, these are the three aspects where they actually diversify. Okay, so these three is very important for classifying an animal and a plant. Moving on, when we have seen the classification with respect to Plantae, we have taken two example, brinjal and potato. These both are edible species. One is been classified into Melanogena because of the bulb structure what is coming above the ground, and this becomes a tuberosome what grows inside the ground. Okay, so Solanum and Solanaceae, night shade plants, okay, grow in shade but they flower at night. Then monophyletic we have seen, okay, the word single origin, and you have diversification. They belong to angiosperm. The flowering plants, trachyphytes, xylem and phloem is seen. Okay, so as we move across from species to the genus, similarities are being clubbed. Okay, and since the similarities are going to get clubbed, it becomes easier for me to actually remember the characteristics of that particular plant. Okay, fine. Hope you like today's video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.